Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Life. I hope you're having a great day. It's always a pleasure to share a new episode with you. Before we start today's episode, a reminder that you have access to our easy-to-use episode map guide, which will link you to all 1,300 plus episodes around the globe. Just click on the map link below, zoom into any part of the planet, click on the blue, red, or orange dot to connect you directly with that episode. The episode title and details will appear on the left side. Click on the blue link and you're on to that vintage reel or video. You may want to zoom in closer as there may be more than one episode clustered together. And a special hello to all my friends and colleagues in Calgary. This vibrant, colorful reel of the 1963 Calgary Stampede Parade is a delight to watch, especially for Calgarians. Every year the Stampede has a theme. The transportation theme had much to do with the opening of the Trans-Canada Highway in 1962 and ever-increasing scheduled airline flights to McCall Field. With honorary parade marshal Bob Hope in the convertible, the parade begins. Bob Hope's entertainment career was already legendary. It's Monday, July 8th, 9 a.m. The overnight thunderstorm and lightning show has dissipated. It's a mostly cloudy, mild, but muggy morning, already 17 Celsius. Behind the mounted RCMP escort is the band of the LDSH, the Lord Strathcona's Horse Royal Canadians, an armoured regiment of the Canadian Army that was based in Calgary until 1995. Dr. Percy Page, the Lieutenant Governor of Alberta, and his wife Maud are in the horse-drawn carriage. We're standing on the northwest corner of 7th Avenue and 8th Street Southwest, facing south, surrounded by homes and two-story commercial offices and modest apartments. Today, of course, the intersection has evolved dramatically. Gone are the homes, the Esso gas station on the corner of 8th and 8th, and trolley buses, all replaced by office and condo towers, Century Gardens, and the LRT. The Calgary Herald reports that 170,000 people lined the parade route. Impressive for a city of 299,000. The popular Coeur d'Alene High School brass band from Idaho was just one of 24 bands performing. Despite scouring newspaper accounts and historical files, I was unsuccessful in finding any information on this Vancouver to Calgary Pony Express group of riders. These fellows on horseback are the Ponderosa Four, sponsored by 14 Seafun Radio in Vancouver. 14 Seafun went on the air in 1922 as CJCE before being rebranded as Seafun in 1955. It featured well-known radio personalities like Red Robinson, Tim Burge, and Terry David Mulligan. 14 Seafun went off the air in June 2023. The JCs, Shriners, Alzar Clown Unit, and many other organizations have long been part of the Stampede Parade tradition. These service groups help raise funds and awareness for various local causes. The Edmonton Klondike Days float was a perennial participant. Revelstoke's float was quite creative, showcasing their annual ski jumping event, itself now lost to history. The Three Stooges were guests at the Stampede and put on daily shows in the corral, headlining a star-studded variety show. Donald Cross, grandson of A.E. Cross, with Orville Strandquist's pony Chuckwagon. The Alberta Motor Association and City Police-sponsored Calgary School Safety Patrol was a big part of the parade for many years. Generations of Calgarians participated as grade 5 and grade 6 students as crosswalk guards at nearly all the schools in the city in this long-running and highly successful safety program dating back to 1938. Horses are a major component of the Stampede and play a significant part of the parade. The Yellowknife float likely traveled the greatest distance for any float in this year's parade. Others to look for are the Trail BC float and the Stettler Legion float. Vernon's Carnival Express, an ambassador of Vernon's newly created winter carnival showcasing Silver Star Ski Hill, was an addition to the parade. I'm uncertain who the MFD fire truck belonged to, but possibly Midnapore, as it was still very much south of Calgary's city limits. Here's a pack horse team of Art Dawes out of Midnapore. Young First Nation children enjoy the view aboard the Pagan Indian Reserve float, now known as a Piikani Nation, located in Brockett, Alberta. These children are now in their late 60s. The Tote Goat dealer float cleverly introduced the low-speed off-road mini motorbike to the crowds. A very brief glimpse of the TCA float, now Air Canada, celebrating 26 years of service. First Nation members, the Tsuut'ina, Stoney Nakoda, Kainai, and Cree have always played an important part of the Stampede parade and celebrations. Their colorful ceremonial dress and horse blankets truly stands out in the parade. The details, both people and in the background, are fascinating to watch in these old reels, especially when you have a personal connection. Virtually everything has changed in these images. The now long-gone, nondescript white two-story office building housed the offices of Woods Christian Homes for many years. Today, it's just a small part of the revamped Century Gardens. James Butlin in the Victoria coach was the son of Joe Butlin, an original member of the Northwest Mounted Police and veteran of Colonel Steele's Scouts. Many of the senior guests, old-timers, in carriages, wagons, and cars, represented the early settlers that arrived in Calgary in the 1880s and 1890s. This is a connection to Calgary's very early days. George Ruddle, Douglas Hardwick, E.A. Sandgate. Douglas Hardwick, at 89, was the oldest of the old-timers in the parade. He came to the corn ranch at Okotoks in 1889 as a 16-year-old boy. There are so many well-known and historically significant people in this parade, it's challenging to list them all. Nearing the end of the parade, Stampede Queen Frances Anne Swan, Princesses Dixie Mae Gurlitz, and Beryl Edge proudly ride their horses. With the end of the parade, people line up for pancake breakfast and head down to the grounds for the opening of the Stampede. We're standing on 8th Avenue. In 7 short years, and partially inspired by the success of Spark Street Mall in Ottawa, this will be transformed into a pedestrian mall and eventually renamed Stephen Avenue, a throwback to its original name before 1910's numbering of the downtown streets and avenues. The ornate window alcove the Linton family is sitting in is the old Bank of Nova Scotia, a sandstone and brick purpose-built bank designed by Canadian architect John M. Lyle and constructed in 1930. Lyle's best-known contribution is the Royal Alexandria Theatre in Toronto and the Memorial Arch at Royal Military College in Kingston. Calgarians may remember the old Bank of Nova Scotia as home to the Bank nightclub in the 1980s and 90s. Today, it's home to the Bank and Baron pub. From the old grandstand, the alignment faces north-northeast and affords a different view of Calgary's very modest skyline. The Palliser Hotel and the 10th Avenue Smokestack are the tallest structures downtown. The grandstand would be replaced in the mid-1970s by the new grandstand. The Chuckwagon races are a highlight of the Stampede and celebrate their centennial in 2023. Bodden, Birkinshaw, Anderson, and Willard were well-known driver names. Dale Flett captured his 5th Chuckwagon championship for owner Peter Bodden. In this heat, the checkerboard wagon belongs to Ronnie Glass, driving for the George Will rig. Ronnie Glass is father to Tommy Glass and grandfather to Jason Glass, who both will become World Championship Chuckwagon drivers in the decades to come. Chuckwagon racing goes deep in the Glass family. Iris Glass, wife of Ronnie, was Tom Lauder's daughter. Tom Lauder won the Chuckwagon Championship in Calgary in 1924 and would win again in 1926 and 27. The yellow Pratt & McKay Stettler wagon was driven by Hallie Walgenbaugh. Thank you for helping fill in the blanks on all these episodes. On occasions, I do make mistakes. I mispronounce locations and sometimes overlook some details. I very much appreciate the corrections you share on the comments section. Thanks for not being too hard on me. It's a delight seeing the collaboration among viewers. It's even more meaningful when I learn that a family member or friend is recognized, even 50+ years later. Look for the Blue Star wagon of Merle Anderson from Carbon, Alberta, with Bill Greenwood driving. A brief glimpse of Sundry's Russ Greenwood and his Scottish Highland steer-driven covered wagon. Greenwood was a fixture of the Stampede for many years. The Stampede tradition of the free pancake breakfast was born on Stephen Avenue in 1923, when Jack Morton, who was one of the original 6 participants, brought his whole crew and wagon downtown and started cooking the pancakes. Millions of visitors have experienced the pancake breakfast over the past century. I hope you've enjoyed this rather detailed look back at July 8th, 1963 in Calgary. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Be kind, and we'll see you next time on Real Life.